tell you about reversing the negative? Anybody talk about that?
No.
They used to flip the negative.
All right, open your eyes.
Well, we only had one side. So in order to shoot the other side of the ship, they reversed all the costuming. So Titanic was spelled backwards. all the overcoats were reverse buttoned. All the luggage labels were all reversed. Everything was turned the other way around, so it would appear that we were on the other side of the ship, but same side of the ship, because they then flipped the negative and turned it the other way around.
We go full ahead! Put your backs into it!
Well, James, he was wonderful to me, and wonderful to most of us. I mean, he has a temperament, because he's a creative person, and he's also a brilliant. He's technically brilliant. I mean, he can shoot, he can light. He invented, I think, a lot of the hydraulics that we used to massively invested in getting all the details of the filming absolutely right. You know, he's very, very incredibly particular. It was a very, 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 very big enterprise, and there were three. Just to light the ship took 3,000 miles of cable, thousands of extras, thousands of stunt doubles. The stunt people. There were stunt people coming from. There were teams of stunt experts, stuntmen who were coming from the Czech Republic, who were coming from here, there, and everywhere. I mean, I think they trawled through an awful lot of costume houses to find as much turn-of-the-century lace as they could get their hands on for the costuming, most of which was ruined because it was all ended up in the water. All the staircases and everything had to be made of solid oak, because they drenched the set, drowned the set, you know, when they put it on the angle and everything, and then they had to dry the set out, tidy it all up again, and put it back to where it was before, so they could reshoot. But if they'd done it just with veneer, then that would have all peeled off, and the whole thing would have been a disaster. So they had to use the real stuff all the time. I've never will again have any kind of experience the size of Titanic.
You were the guy that apparently caused this tragedy.
This made him run in.
Well, I think that's a little unfair to put the whole thing on Ismay, because he wanted to break the record.
Yeah.
So they were going very fast. But you could also blame the fact that there was a sea like glass, so there were no waves, so it was hard for the lookout to see where the iceberg was, and they should not have gone into reverse. They should have just changed course and tried to miss it at full speed. By slowing down, they actually sort of hampered the maneuverability of the vessel. Anyway, he wasn't even the owner. He'd sold the White Star Line to J.P. Morgan for $40 million. So it wasn't even his ship, really. He was staying on as managing director of White Star. And I think as the managing director, he would have had a corporate responsibility to keep his feet dry, and because there are other ships in the line that needed managing, and if he'd gone under, then who was going to do the job? That's the way I look at it anyway.
Yeah, you're redeeming the character, I can see that.
Prepare to lower! Ready on the left!
They didn't actually show in the final cut all the help that I was giving to some of the passengers, helping women and children onto the lifeboats.
You showed that?
Throwing luggage overboard, trying to get them to lower away more quickly, trying to speed up the launch of the lifeboats. They didn't include it in the final cut because they wanted my character to be even worse. I always thought that was a bit of a cheap shot, not to show him in a slightly more favourable light, but then that's what films do, don't they?